I'm driving this Mazda MX-5 to the northernmost point of Europe this February. And in this video, I will show you all the modification I did to prepare my car for this trip. I won't follow any particular order. Let's do the bullbar later. So the first modification I did is, of course, ground clearance. I lifted the car 15 millimeters, going from 125 millimeter pinch weld height to 140. And I also removed the front lip, so I have a little bit more of ground clearance. Should be okay like this. Another thing I did is to add this big mat guards. They cover completely the wheel, and they are attached here on the bumper, on the original, where the original mat guard should be. I also added this little plastic, flexible plastic, and it's almost touching the ground. And I did the same also on the front. They're here using, I don't know if you can see them, the two bolts of the fender. And I also had to add a little aluminium tube to keep this mudguards bent to avoid the tire to touch it. I also had it here, this flexible rubber, and it's almost touching the ground, and you can see they are really effective. They are really dirty, but the car is still very clean. This is to keep all the salt, all the dirt, and also the spikes, because I will install spike tires to avoid to be thrown on the body and ruin, of course, the body. Now that I mentioned the tire, let's talk about them now. I installed something cheap winter tires, and with these tires I will drive from Italy to Denmark, and in Denmark I will install spike tires, which I'll swap again when I'm coming back again in Denmark. I installed original seat from an NB. They are extremely comfortable, and it would have been impossible to do the trip with bucket seats. Let's go with the interesting part. Let's start with this little plug. This little plug is going underneath and is connected to two heating pads on the oil pan, and I can connect this to a plug, the 220 volt plug, in a parking up in the north, because in the hotel and in the houses they have this kind of stuff, and being able to heat up the oil before turning on the car. Of course, it's not the most efficient method. There are much better method, like for example a heater with an electric pump that will circulate and heat up the coolant instead of the oil, or the block heater. So you can remove engine block blank plug and install the engine heater there, and you can plug it to the 220 volt, and that will heat up the oil more efficiently. Let's talk about the bullbar. Finally, it's something I designed myself. I didn't want to do any modification to the car. It's fixing in the original toe bracket. As you can see, there's a bracket, and then on this bracket is fixing the bullbar with this little C. The problem is that this was vibrating a lot, so if you didn't watch the previous video, I suggest you to watch it, so you will see what we did in just probably 4 hours. It was Friday. The time to prepare the car was coming to an end, and we decided to get this like bike lamps, a steel wire attached to this, and it's going into a bracket inside this nice indicator. Now it's pretty solid. It's still vibrating a bit, yeah, but it's not vibrating as much as before. And if anything happens that I have to remove the bullbar, I can use just a couple of 14 spanner and I can remove it completely. Let's talk now about the lights. I have two floodlights, yellow for the fog, the snow and blizzard, and I have two high beam white LED Let me show them. Oh, these are very cheap AliExpress lights, which are quite good, and they are a little bit pointed to the side because I want to be able to see the side when there's fog and blizzard. These two are the beasts. Pretty heavy, so as you can see we had to make a system with uni balls and another pipe clamp to keep them fixed to the bull bar and together. And these lights are really powerful. Tonight I will test them, I will show you, and this will help me for the night, because as you know, if you have an NA, the original headlights are as bright as candles. How do I command this? Let's go inside. When I want to activate the yellow light, I have the original rear fog light, which I don't have anymore. While with this, I arm the high beam, and when I activate the high beam from here, they will also activate. If this is not armed and I activate the high beam, only the normal high beam will activate. I was also forgetting another let's call it modification. I protect all the undercarriage with cavity wax. It was a nightmare to apply. You have to completely clean the car underneath, and then you have to spray this very thick wax, and I suggest you to put mask, glasses, and also a hat, because I had all my hair super sticky. It was a nightmare, but it was worth it, because I tried to rinse the car after one day and the water is not even wet in the car. See, it has this little finish and it's not even dirty. No, sto facendo un po' di foto e video. Sì.
È una giornata meravigliosa. Complimenti, c'ha una macchina molto sportiva.
Sì,
io non me ne intendo, però. Vieni, via, cosa vogliono usare?
There's something to say about the tires. Could I do this trip with winter tires? In theory, yes, but there are a bit of problems, and that's why I choose to get spike tires. So first of all, the MX-5 is really light. Front engine, rear wheel drive, so the rear is pretty light and you get an traction. Just spinning wheels with normal winter tires, especially on the ice. It's true that the technology nowadays advanced and you have Nordic compound winter tires that outperform spike tires in 90% of the situation, but if I will encounter that 10%, I want to be prepared. What is that 10%? Black ice or completely dry packed ice. In that situation, if the ice is completely compact with winter tires, even if they are very good brand Nordic winter tires, you will have some difficulties. While with spike tires is where they perform their best. What is the difference between Nordic compound winter tires and normal winter tires? These are normal winter tires. For Europe, they still have a very deep thread, but the compound is not as soft as the Nordic compound winter tires. Spike tires, well, the compound is still very soft, Nordic compounds, adding some studs here and there. Let's be honest, they are not really good for the environment because they consume the asphalt a lot. You can also lose the spikes, but for this kind of trip, we don't want to have surprises. Something that I was forgetting, I have this nice little screen here, and what it does is to show a lot of information. Sorry for the flickering. So as you can see, I have the oil temperature, the oil pressure, the water temperature. I can modify values. So instead of the oil temperature, I can choose the battery voltage, but let's leave it like this now. And I have this IAT, which is not IAT, but I connected a sensor, a temperature sensor that is installed underneath the wheel arch, and this will show me the outside temperature. Right now it's about 11 degrees. How cold it will be where we are driving. I also have this that could be very useful. Let me know in the comment. Stop the video now and let me know in the comment what this could be. I'll show you. Since I have a bigger radiator rear out, this car is very good in cooling the engine. But when I'm at -30, I don't need to cool the engine. I need to do the opposite. So I can install this, hook it up here, fix it, and I can cover half of the radiator so the car can stay nice and warm. Another nice detail is the license plate with this little wire. It's like a safety. Of course, if I lose the bull bar, I lose everything, but I will of course notice. Now that I'm done showing you the modification of the car, let's go back to the garage and I'll show you what accessory I will bring. Let's start from the beginning. Maybe something is missing, but I will show you later with the magic of editing. Additional washer fluid, -70, in case I finish the one I put in the car. Emergency foil blanket with an emergency kit, handsaw, a candle, multi-tool, an emergency whistle, always useful. Liquid for the radiator, already added water for -40 degrees. It's a bit less than a liter, should be sufficient. Anti-noise muffler for the highway because my car is really loud, so if I want a bit of less noise I can wear this. A nice compressor and battery booster with light, so I can also inflate my tires and start the engine, though I have a AGM battery gel, so it shouldn't be a problem. Spare wipers in case mine get iced and ruined. De-icer, of course, this will be very useful. Gloss boost from SoloDettagli. This will be useful to clean the car, but I think I won't use this, but it's still good to have it, to use it around the car or for the windscreen. All the stuff I need to remove and install the tires back, together with the car lift. Oil Teflon, this will be very good in case some locks get completely iced. This is to prevent that. Emergency rope that I hope I will never use. Car dehumidifier, this will last maybe the first 2 days and then it will be full of water already. Cable to attach the oil heater at the hotel in the morning to heat the oil up. Snow chains, and again I hope I will never have to install this. Rubber stick to renew the coating on the rubber and avoid them to get stuck completely in the morning. 4 liters of oil in case of emergency. This is a half cover for the car. It covers only the roof. Hello. It covers only the roof. I don't know if I will use it because when it's windy this cover is flapping a lot and can scratch the paint, but it can prevent ice and snow accumulating on the roof. Ice scraper, an emergency foldable shovel, emergency light, some tools especially to remove or work on the bull bar and the lights in case I have problems, some towels for the glass and to use around the car, hand warmers, around 20 pieces to keep myself and my filming equipment warm. And this is it. This is all the stuff that I will bring with me to Nordkapp. I will have to organize the car, so I will put everything that I think I won't need at the back of the trunk and everything that I think I will use frequently easily accessible.